Good morning. Welcome back to Bible and Blues. It is Bible and Blues in the car today. So, um, you know, something I kind of get a little bit. I don't know if it's going to be effective. I don't know if I'm going to be eloquent with this, but I feel a need to say something about it, and it has to do with the Manchester, England terrorist attack, um, and some of the reactions I'm seeing out there. Um, I watch a lot of different YouTube channels, and there's a bunch of them that I listen to that they're actually atheists. I don't listen to their anti-Christian stuff. I avoid listening to their anti-Islam stuff most of the time. Um, and this being an Islamic terrorist attack, of course it mixes. Um, I tend just, and the reason I don't usually listen to their anti-Islam stuff, even though I'm not necessarily for Islam, necessarily, I am a Christian, is because I know that they're only attacking them because of the timing. Another time they're going to be attacking me. They'll get around to me if my channel gets to be large enough. They'll get around to me. I've had comments from atheists and anti-Christian, anti-biblical Christian, anti-evangelical Christian. I've had those comments. I don't let them. Yeah, you kind of brush them off, right? And move on with your day, because you can't control what these people think. But they were. I was watching the Warski brothers, and they're, of course, they drop the F bomb nonstop, and they're edgy, you know. And they're complaining about this guy named Onision had done. And Onision actually put up this whole thing about how why are you paying attention to so much attention to the this terrorist attack? People die every day. 1,000 people die of cancer every day. Are you going to be so concerned about them? Yada yada yada. And this is some of the stuff that, and they're sitting there talking about how, well, we have compassion, we have empathy, and F you Onision and all this. And I don't like Onision either, okay? I mean, most of these guys are pretty much just putting out stuff to get clicks and get views. And, I have my own guilt in that. I mean, come on, if I wasn't going after some level of clicks and views, I wouldn't put out any videos at all, right? So, I mean, the generation behind it is different, perhaps. I believe my content is out there and is going to have an opportunity to reach somebody and possibly touch some lives. And if who knows, maybe at some point in time, take a person who is sitting on the fence and pull them towards God. I think that's incredibly important work, and it is definitely worth having to deal with a few people who just can't seem to handle the concept of a Christian, speaking their mind and speaking of God. Okay, so, but their problem was with Onision and his whole attitude about don't don't you're being fake if you're really concerned about all these things, and quit talking about this and everything. And it got me thinking a little bit, and I've been thinking about this kind of thing for a while, and it's like, well, what is really their basis for their concern and empathy to the other people? And I mean, I know where mine comes from. Mine concern, I mean, we have God put in us empathy. God put in us a desire to know, to care about others, and to feel compassion for others. And so this is an important aspect of Christianity, of humanity in general, whether you're Christian or not. But what they don't examine that we do is why. Why do we feel that is so important to feel compassion, and if you don't, that there's something wrong? Okay, because as far as I can see, if you're an atheist, if you don't believe in any God at all, and it is nothing more than survival of the fittest, it is evolution. We are a bunch of cells. We are a grouping of proteins and amino acids, as happen to conjoin into something that has some semblance of thought, who knows where that came from. Independent thinking is this or that, and and it's all about evolution. Then what does it matter if a bunch of people died? As an atheist, if you truly believe that's what it is. So, these are a few of the questions that I have about it. And I'm not trying to really stir stuff up because, I know a lot of people who simply don't think about God in general, and they just think compassion is a good thing. And they never examine where their compassion comes from. Where does it originate? And why do we feel? And the thinking atheist is going to tell you, well, that's because we're designed to be in a society, we're designed to be together, and it requires compassion for each other in order to have that. So I don't. There's a lot to unpack there, and I only have a couple more minutes before I have to go to work. So without further ado, that was my ramble for the morning. Okay, and I'll probably touch on that a lot more because it's something that's always on my mind. Because out here in YouTube, there are a lot of atheists, and they're very vocal, and they call themselves edgelords or what have you, and they think they're being cool, and they think they're a part of and they have their own community, and it's one of the reasons why I've actually called out for a community of Christians, in particular on VidMe, which is a nice young platform that you can be heard on, and I'm actually approaching 100 followers on VidMe right now, which is awesome. It has taken a little bit of time but that's okay. So be sure to like, follow, upvote. Make sure you follow this for more content like this. Start thinking, get your brain engaged. What does your theology mean to you? That's kind of some of the things I like to think about. But again, without further ado, we are on Psalm 105 today. So let's get right into this here. Give thanks to the Lord, call on his name, make known among the nations what he has done. Sing to him, sing praise to him, tell of all his wonderful acts. Glory in his holy name, let the hearts of those who seek the Lord rejoice. Look to the Lord and his strength, seek his face always. Remember the wonders he has done, his miracles and the judgments he pronounced. O descendants of Abraham his servants, O sons of Jacob his chosen ones. He is the Lord our God, his judgments are in all the earth. He remembers his covenant forever, the word he commanded for 1,000 generations, the covenant he made with Abraham, the oath he swore to Isaac. He confirmed it to Jacob as a decree, to Israel as an everlasting covenant. To you I will give the land of Canaan as the portion you will inherit. When they were but few in number, few indeed the strangers in it, they wandered from nation to nation, from one kingdom to another. He allowed no one to oppress them. For their sake he rebuked kings. Do not touch my anointed ones. Do my prophets no harm. He called down famine on the land and destroyed all their supplies of food. He sent a man before them, Joseph, sold as a slave. They bruised his feet with shackles. His neck was put in irons, till what he foretold came to pass, till the word of the Lord proved him true. The king sent and released him. The ruler of peoples set him free. He made him master of his household, ruler over all he possessed, to instruct his princes as he pleased, and teach his elders wisdom. Then Israel entered Egypt. Jacob lived as an alien in the land of Ham. The Lord made his people very fruitful. He made them too numerous for their foes, whose hearts he turned to hate his people, to conspire against his servants. He sent Moses his servant, and Aaron whom he had chosen. They performed his miraculous signs among them, his wonders in the land of Ham. He sent darkness and made the land dark, for had they not rebelled against his words. He turned their waters into blood, causing their fish to die. Their land teemed with frogs, which went up into the bedrooms of their rulers. He spoke, and there came swarms of flies and gnats throughout their country. He turned their rain into hail and lightning throughout their land. He struck down their vines and fig trees and shattered the trees of their country. He spoke, and the locusts came. Grasshoppers without number. They ate up every green thing in the land, ate up the produce of their soil. He struck down all the firstborn in their land, the firstfruits of all their manhood. He brought out Israel laden with silver and gold, and from among their tribes no one faltered. Egypt was glad when they left, because dread of Israel had fallen on them. He spread out a cloud as a covering, and a fire to give them light at night. They asked, and he brought them quail and satisfied them with the bread of heaven. He opened the rock, and water gushed out like a river, and it flowed in the deserts. For he remembered his holy promise given to his servant Abraham. He brought out his people with rejoicing, his chosen ones with shouts of joy. He gave them the lands of the nations, and they fell heir to what others had toiled for, that they might keep his precepts and observe his laws. Praise the Lord. Here ends reading the Lord. Thanks be to God. Just a whole lot of stuff right there, all packed in of the Exodus. And if you need a synopsis of the Exodus, there it is right there. Again, I'm almost done. Almost time for me to get to work. I don't want to be late. God wants us to do a good job at our jobs. Wants us to represent Him in all aspects of our lives, and that includes our work. So we need to do a good job. We need to be on time, ready to work at our jobs as Christians, and represent. So that when people say, "Yeah, I had a Christian working for me," they're the greatest people to work for us. They're on time. They're ready to work. They don't complain. They're good to go. That's what you want people to say about Christians. Okay. You don't want them to say, he was always, he was busy with his church. Yeah, that was great, but he was always gone, and he was always making excuses. He was always doing stuff. So my excuse should not be I'm making a video, so I got to go. Be sure to follow, subscribe to my channel. We have lots going on. Share this with your friends. Share this with your atheist friends. See if you can get some answers to what I was talking about in the beginning. Plus it will really bug the crap out of them. So, all right. God bless. Have a great, great day. I'll talk to you later.